What's up everyone, it's Kelly and today I've got another swatch and review for you. Today we're talking about the Halloween 2023 collection from ILNP, which is called Fright Night. And I gotta tell you, I was very excited for these because I am fully in the Halloween spirit and I will be for the entire month. But before we get into it, if you haven't heard of ILNP before, they are an independent nail polish brand that is based in the US, and all of their polishes are 10 free, meaning they are free of 10 of the potentially harmful ingredients that can be found in nail polish. They're also vegan, meaning they do not use any animal-derived ingredients, and they're cruelty-free, meaning they do not test their products on animals. So we've got 6 brand new nail polishes for this collection, including one with a magnetic finish, and we're pretty much looking at these deep, vampy, seductive, evil kind of colors. And I have to say, I always love their Halloween collections. I think they do an incredible job making them, but this year I was especially excited because I feel like in addition to these colors being really deep and mysterious, they're also very saturated, a little bit more than usual, I think. And I've just been really reaching for these vibrant jeweled tones lately, and I think that kind of just gave us a mix of both vampy and jeweled. So I was really excited to try these out. So let me go ahead and show you the swatches, then we can talk a little bit more about my thoughts on the collection as a whole, my thoughts on the brand, pricing, availability, all that good stuff. So roll the swatches. So as with all of my swatch and review videos, I am using base coat underneath all of my swatches just to protect my natural nail and prevent any stains. Today it's the ILNP base coat. So we'll start off with the lightest shade, Flicker. I feel like ILNP usually throws in a gray, lighter kind of shade in their Halloween collections, and I always love it because it definitely feels like a palette cleanser, but there's also something very Halloween-y about these like bone and stone and gray kind of colors. So this one's really gorgeous. It's called Flicker, and it is a light gray base, and then we have this beautiful gold to orange iridescent flaky shimmer running throughout. Now, I did think it looked pretty in 2 coats, but it still had a touch of that sheerness to it. So I ended up putting on a 3rd coat, and I feel like that's where you really got to see the color in full and just that beautiful lit from within look. It's not something that I refer to when I'm talking about lighter polishes, because I feel like lit from within usually looks like it's deeper shades that have like an intense shine to them, but this one definitely does have that lit from within look. It's almost like this soft gray color, but then you get this burst of color within it. Next we have the shade Carved, and this one is a stunning orange base that has a golden flaky running throughout, and it is absolutely packed, and I just love this orange color. It almost looks a little bit more corally in the first coat, but I do end up getting full coverage in 2 coats, and let me tell you, I am absolutely devastated that this came out right after my favorite oranges video, because this is an instant classic for me. It is stunning. I love the flakies in there. I love how vibrant that base color is, and I just love the opacity. I'm so impressed with it. So definitely in love with this one. Will be wearing it all season long. Imagine this with like little jack-o'-lantern nail art over it. Oh, so cute. Moving on, we have the shade Bitten, and this one is this deep red jelly base that is absolutely packed with these slightly larger iridescent flakies, and it looks like it's going to be sparse in the first coat, but as I built it up, I found that I got so much of that flaky, and there was also a little bit of a hollow sparkle in there just to add a little extra touch. And oh my gosh, what a stunning shade. I actually really loved the way that it looked in 2 coats. It was a little bit more subtle, but I really love this type of red jelly because I know that the more coats you do, the deeper it gets. So you almost get like 2 polishes in one, because if you want a slightly lighter look, you can just do 2 coats. But if you want it to be really deep and rich and intense, you can put on a 3rd coat. And oh my gosh, it looked so stunning in 3 coats. I love those flakies in there, just adding so much depth. And that subtle little hollow sparkle really does add something. Next, we have the shade Shapeshifter. And this one at first glance seems pretty similar to Bitten, but it's actually a brown jelly base. And this one also has a lot going on in it. We have these metallic copper flakies as well as a little hollow sparkle, and there's also a little orange sparkle in there as well. Now I will say it looks a little bit reddish on me. I think it's just with my skin tone, but I would say this is firmly a warm brown polish, and I got such stunning opacity in 2 coats. It seems so deceptively simple, but there's so much going on in there. I feel like I could just get lost in this polish. It is really a beautiful shade, and it feels so perfect for fall. And then then we have the shade Abracadabra, and this one is this intense deep blue shimmer. Around the edges you can see a little bit of like a purpley tone to it, and you can actually see a little bit of purple in the base, but as I built it up to full coverage, which for me took 2 coats, I did end up getting more of that blue color in there. And then there's also what looks to be like almost a champagne colored fleck running throughout. It's very subtle, but it adds this nice little sparkle that makes it feel almost cosmic. But this polish, when I look at it, it just reminds me of like a winter night sky with little snowflakes falling. I can see what they were getting at for Halloween, but this to me feels like the perfect winter polish. And last but not least, we have the shade Frankie, which is a metallic green polish. So this one is this beautiful, vibrant green. The shimmer within it has this light, almost golden vibe to it that adds so much. And then there's also a holographic sparkle running throughout. It's definitely giving me snakeskin or Frankenstein's monster. And I actually love the way that it looks on its own without magnetization as well. Sometimes I am just a little bit too lazy to magnetize my magnetic polishes. So it's definitely important to me to find one that is also just good on its own. But the way that I like to do magnetic nail polishes is I will apply it for full coverage, which in this case took 2 coats, and then I will apply a thick final coat and I will magnetize that while the polish is still wet. So I did do a 3rd thick coat, and then I did the cat eye style, which kind of pushed all of that golden green shimmer to this one portion of the nail, and then we also got this deeper green around the edges. But I also like to do the aura style, and I was working this one with the air conditioning on, so I think it dried a little bit too fast to get the aura style going, but I still feel like it added some of that dimensionality to it. It almost makes it look a little bit velvety, so definitely enjoyed that one. So here are all of the shades together, just a really stunning collection of colors that I think feel really perfect for Halloween, but also just work for basically the rest of the year. I think these colors work really well for fall, but we also have some shades that I think will be so perfect for winter, like Abracadabra and Flicker, and then even Frankie I feel like could work really nicely as a Christmassy polish. But I do have to give a quick little shout out for the names here, because all of the names of these polishes are just so perfect. Every single polish kind of gave me a little bit of a Halloween-y vibe, and then the name of it was just exactly the vibe that I was feeling. Like Carved just feels like a perfect pumpkin color. Bitten just feels like such a juicy blood red kind of color. Shapeshifter feels like a werewolf brown. Frankie just feels like that Frankenstein's monster kind of vibe. And then we have Flicker, which has that glow lit from within just like a candle. And Abracadabra is definitely given a little bit of like a wizardy vibe to it. So yeah, I usually don't give too much attention to polish names unless they're very punny, but I have to say the names were definitely a standout for me in this collection. But yeah, let's talk a little bit more about my thoughts on these. So those are the polishes, and overall I really enjoyed them. Like I said, the colors are just so vibrant and eye-catching. I really love that sort of lit from within look, and I think we got that a lot in this collection, which I really appreciate. I also really have been enjoying the ILNP magnetics. I think they just make them incredibly well. I feel like on camera, the aura style of magnetization that I really like to do has not been translating well for ILNP polishes, and I think that's just because there's so much going on in each one that it's sort of hard to see the three-dimensional effect. But I will say I do think it looks more exciting in real life with that style, but of course the cat eye style always looks really stunning. I do have to give one critique of ILNP though, and this is something that I've been feeling lately about them. Ever since they came out with their Studio Color line, which is their cream finishes, those polishes have the same bottle, but it comes with a slightly different brush, which is a little bit wider and has a rounded tip. And I have just been enjoying those Studio Color polishes so much that it's really making me wish I could have that brush in my regular ILNP polishes. As of right now, their regular line has the medium wide flat brush that has a straight tip, and I've always enjoyed that. I think it's kind of like the best of both worlds for people who prefer skinny brushes and people who prefer wide flat brushes. But I don't know, ever since I started using that Studio Color line, I feel like I've just been wishing that my ILNP polishes had that new brush in it. I just think that would make application even smoother, and I would just love that. But overall, I do love the ILNP formula. I think it's just so smooth and easy to work with. I say this all the time, but their formula is very delicate and buildable, so even polishes that require 3 coats for full opacity, they don't truly feel like you're wearing 3 coats on your nails. You know, sometimes when you wear a lot of coats of something, it just feels like your nails are really thick. I never get that experience with ILNP, and I also find because they're thin, they dry really quickly, so it doesn't feel like it takes a long amount of time to apply 3 coats of them, so I never mind doing 3 coaters of their manicures. So now let's talk about pricing and availability. These polishes are actually coming out Friday, October 6th, but I like to get my ILNP videos out early because during their pre-sale and when they first release their polishes, they do $1 off per bottle. So if you're a fan of ILNP polishes, I would highly recommend grabbing them when they first sell them, just so you can take advantage of that discount. But generally speaking, all the polishes come in 12 milliliter bottles. Like I said, they do have a medium wide flat brush that has a straight tip, and the price does vary based on the formula. So the regular nail polishes retail for $10 USD, and the magnetic polish retails for $12.50 USD. But like I said, all of those are $1 off if you get them during their pre-order. So I'm gonna link everything down below. You can check them out if you're interested, but I'm curious to hear your thoughts. What do you think of this collection? What do you think of the colors in it? Are you a fan of Halloween nail polish collections? I very much am, but I know some people prefer just general fall collections. So definitely let me know your thoughts in the comments. We can chat about it. If you enjoy my swatch and review videos, please give this one a thumbs up. It lets me know I'm doing a good job. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. I put out new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I also have a second YouTube channel, my vlog channel. If you're interested in Halloween stuff, I am going to be posting a lot of Halloween themed things on there. So check that out. I'll put it in the cards. And of course, a huge shout out to my supporters on Patreon, my Royal Astronomer Amanda M, as well as my Cosmic Admirals, Rocky Man's Daughter, Paula, Ken, and Rosie. I really appreciate your support, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye. Today's fun fact question comes from Patreon supporter Stephanie Ross, and Stephanie wants to know, would you rather have an endless supply of the worst formulas, finishes, and colors of nail polish, or only your one favorite nail polish for the rest of your life? So I'm conflicted because on the one hand, I don't like using formulas that, I mean, obviously nobody likes using difficult formulas, but I think a huge thing for me would be colors that I don't like. So that makes me feel like I want to just have my one color. But on the other hand, I feel like if I were to pick one favorite polish, it would probably be a purple. And I like wearing a lot of colors on my makeup and sometimes my hair. And I just feel like always wearing purple nail polish would clash with that. So I mean, I'm still leaning that way, but then I'm also thinking, even with difficult formulas and finishes, a lot of times I like to do nail art with them, and you can't do nail art with just one color unless I also get to have a matte top coat. So I don't know. Ooh, that's a struggle. I don't know, even though I'm leaning towards just the one polish for the rest of my life, I feel like I would end up picking finishes, formulas, colors that I don't like just to have the variety, because I don't know how I'd feel about just wearing one color forever. And I feel like over time, if I stop entirely using good formulas, I'm gonna get used to the bad formulas, and then I'll just be able to use those, you know what I mean? This is a difficult answer, but yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the worst finishes, formulas, and colors for the rest of my life rather than just my one favorite. Although now that I just realized, I would be devastated to not have my favorite colors anymore on my nails. But let me know what you think in the comments. We can discuss it, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.